This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, let's unpack this. Okay, so Kanye West goes on Drink Champs, and N.O.R.E. claims I didn't know he was going to talk about all that stuff when he had been talking about it all for the past 2 weeks. He had the White Lives Matter shirt. He had he had those comments about certain situations, like the George Floyd comments. You knew he was going up there to get attention. N.O.R.E. knew this. N.O.R.E. still had him on, which is fine, okay? Because I do believe everybody should speak. Just let them speak. You know why? Because you want to know how people think. You want to know how people think so you can, if you don't really like them, you can avoid them, right? So, Kanye spews about a lot of stuff. Puffy, Meek Mill, his family situation, Pete Davidson. Then he talks about George Floyd for some reason. Why? I guess it was because of the White Lives Matter shirts, right? And he spews a bunch of things that make no sense. There's no point being made. But what he does say that I totally don't agree with is that he's like, well, he died from this and not that. No. 4 people kneeling on you, right? Putting pressure on you after they already had you in a cop car. Now he's out of the cop car, right? You already had him in the cop car. You have him out the cop car now. Looks excessive force, right? I don't care what he was on. I don't care if he had too much Advil, whatever. Doesn't help the situation, does it? Doesn't help. Doesn't help you survive that situation. So he passed right there in front of everybody, And think about if you're already battling something internally, whatever, right? And then someone starts putting pressure on you so you can't breathe the same. Yeah, it's going to cause it could cause your body to fail on you. And that's what happened. So they're accomplices, and that's why they're going to jail, right? That's why these people were in jail. Because you weren't there to help. So Kanye saying that was uncalled for. If you're against all the riots and destroying business, cool, right? And I understand why there was peaceful protests. There was 2 kinds of protests. There was peaceful protests, and then there was violence, and that wasn't protesting. Okay, that was people taking advantage of the protest. There's always going to be people that take advantage of a situation, but there was a lot of peaceful protests that made a statement that was necessary. That hey, this is a problem. You have police are necessary, but bad police are unnecessary and actually dangerous, right? So Kanye making those comments and N.O.R.E. not reacting to them till later in the interview. I see what they did. So they put out part 1, and N.O.R.E. Let's just go through this first. First, before we get into this, right? I want to make the point that Kanye doesn't feel that way, right? He's doing this for attention because he donated $2 million for tuition costs, right? He marched because he didn't agree with what happened, right? So So Kanye doesn't feel that way. He's only saying this because he's been around people. He sees other people get attention for saying these crazy comments, right? What he doesn't realize is those people say those comments to bring attention to their platforms to say other things, right? Which is inexcusable, right? But Kanye's doing that thinking it's going to work for him so he can bring attention to his stuff. It's like, dude, it doesn't work that way. And it's not really smart to do that. It's hurtful to do that. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. It's very hurtful to do that. People look up to you, and people don't agree with that. I don't agree. Nobody agrees with that. I don't agree with humans are humans. You treat them like human beings, bro. Unless they've just George Floyd paid with a fake bill. That doesn't mean that he deserves to that happen to him. He deserves to go to jail and come back out, right? Go to jail, come back out. That's it. Real simple, right? Not this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nobody deserves that. People make mistakes. It's not like he was a murderer or something. Come on, man. So, Kanye believed that and he marched, right? So, N.O.R.E. does the interview. These things are said and he doesn't react to them immediately. You have to question things immediately as a journalist, right? I don't agree with N.O.R.E. apologizing this Monday. I think he should have said, I never agreed with anything. I'm a journalist. I put it out. And I should have reacted faster, but he went full soft on the situation. And to be strong in media, you got to stand by. First of all, they obviously weren't prepared because, if Kanye walked out, that would have been a great moment. You didn't want him to walk out, and maybe you should have structured the interview differently. Or this is one you should have edited. And you should have put your comments right there. If you were going to react to it, you thought later, hey, I didn't react to that because you aren't drink champs and you're drinking, and you thought about it later and you go, boy, I didn't agree with that. I'm going to get back to it. You edit it in, because it's how people are digesting it, not how the conversation went down in chronological order. If you don't feel that way, you put that in, that you did address that, They made a big misstep here. Now, N.O.R.E. was feeling real cocky this weekend. My interview got more than football. I run this now. The internet's mine. I love it when people get too cocky. Because N.O.R.E.'s fallen as an artist. N.O.R.E. knows that there's an up and there's a down. I do. He does. This is a roller coaster entertainment. N.O.R.E. was the biggest, I would never say the biggest. He was very big rapper in the early 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s. And, he's on, what was he on? Def Jam, big records, Pharrell, big records. And now he's back. He's been back for the past 7 years, which is great. Okay, he fell off a lot, and then he came back, People are reacting to this on the internet. They're saying, I'm watching this Drink Champs episode. N.O.R.E. is by far the worst interview host, blah, 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 blah. I get it. It's unwatchable. N.O.R.E., why should we expect him to challenge Kanye for blah, 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 right? N.O.R.E. and EFN not pushing back against it. It's true. They didn't push back right away, because they wanted him to, they were too worried about him walking out, but you should have said the knee didn't help, and bro, I think you got some misinformation here. I don't know what you're getting at, because Kanye wasn't even making sense. He was like, he prayed for eight minutes, then this, then he said, he reminds me of Virgil. He quickly changed the topic. He wasn't even making a point. I would have said, what's your point on that? Because I would have said, they didn't even remember. Why'd you march then? Why did you donate to his family? Why wasn't that I would have said that right then and there? You could have broken it down hey, you donated to George Floyd's family and you marched. You obviously don't feel that he died from something else. You know that knee on his neck was a part of the cause of his death. You know that. I don't care what he was on. That didn't help. And you know what? You're an accomplice. You contributed, because if someone takes that, I'm not going to say the name of the thing he was on, but you take that and then someone pulls a gun out and shoots you, right? And you die from that. What'd you die from? You die from the fentanyl. It was the whole thing that the shutdown of the 2 years. People would get hit by a truck, but they were sick at the same time, and they're oh no, he died from this. No, I think he died from being hit by a truck. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's the action of the knee is what did him in. Okay, so and Kanye knows that, and if N.O.R.E., EFN is sharp. I'm surprised EFN didn't step in and say that, but maybe he was told not to. And I'm not criticizing them. I still don't think they should have apologized, because they're still journalists. N.O.R.E. didn't really say anything, right? So you can't apologize for Kanye. Kanye needs to make the apology, okay? I know why N.O.R.E apologized, because you don't want to lose all the sponsors and everything, because now you're attached to something that's... I wouldn't even have done the interview. It's risky. Drink Champs is doing fine without this. They already had a Kanye interview, and he wanted another moment like that in 2022 that he had in 2021. N.O.R.E is letting himself out for views in this episode where he's letting Kanye say a bunch of BS with no pushback. He did push back, but later. N.O.R.E's a clown. You can't be for the culture and allow disinformation. Exactly. You can't allow disinformation. You do have to check people on that. Kanye, all I did was put the shirt on and then N.O.R.E makes a noise for air horns. Yeah. So they're gonna take Kanye to court, I guess, for this, but you're not gonna win. Because it's, but they want to make a point, Kanye is just like, he's just like desperate for attention right now. Because why would you say that stuff knowing you don't believe that? Then N.O.R.E, right, 8 a.m. slime back. Now, quickly, right? This is how it changes. After he owns the internet, This is all Saturday night, Sunday, Monday morning. I'm back here on the Breakfast Club. Sean King, Dr. Umar. He's going real hard the other way, right? Things got real. He's apologizing. I'm sorry. Relax. My yaya never got more views than football. Like that. That was just yesterday. Now he's like, I'm sorry. Relax, we make mistakes. No, you saw the interview. Don't use the excuse you didn't watch the interview. You knew what he said. You needed pushback, and you knew you should have edited it. Maybe you shouldn't have dropped it. So again, I'm not criticizing N.O.R.E for doing the interview. I'm criticizing him for not being able to react in the situation. You lived the interview. You don't have to watch it again. You lived it, right? And knowing that, hey, I got to place this here and here. This is a sensitive topic right here because it's hurtful. Someone died, It's hurtful. Someone died, and he wasn't a rapper talking about his ops. He was a guy who made a small mistake, okay, and didn't deserve anything that happened to him, okay? This is not a rapper that we talk about every day that's talking about his ops and bringing this fate on him. This is a man that went to a grocery store. They say it was a counterfeit bill. Who knows? Nobody deserves what happened after that. Nobody. Okay, so anyways, N.O.R.E probably should have apologized, but he should have recognized his mistakes, got on the Breakfast Club, and not have been so cocky over the weekend. That didn't help. I'm not vilifying him. I enjoy N.O.R.E. I think he's a great personality. But, the whole apology thing, I think, was going too far another direction. You have to realize your mistakes. Apologize for allowing Kanye to hurt people without being checked immediately. I think that's the apology that had to happen. But he's going totally another way because he's scared that he's going to lose Drink Champs. But people know N.O.R.E's heart. He's not an evil person. We live in a capitalistic society. It's about pushing numbers, pushing the envelope, getting views, headlines, and you can get lost in that and not make the right decision sometimes. That's the apology. That's it. Anyways, Kanye is destroying everything around him right now. Okay, so it's good to stay away from him at the moment. He's done a lot of amazing things. I don't know why he's always comparing himself to Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and everybody else. It's like he's very insecure when Kanye's done so much. He's accomplished so much in his life. To undo it is unfortunate, you know? I don't know. Anyways, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Let me know below what you think. And I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.